this year. Come with us and see how we are forging the path. Combat is getting a substantial amount of attention this update. A lot of you have told us you wish to see it getting some love, so building on our changes from Update 7, we're adding a whole bunch of new things. Melee weapons now have heavy attacks, which are triggered by holding the attack button. Special abilities that you charge up and that deal a lot of damage. Updated attack chains with two-handed weapons so that greatswords offer clearing the room type of solution you've been dreaming of. Finally, we've made some changes to enemy awareness, offer more options for stealth play. We've made a full video going into more detail about this, so check it out next. Now, it's time to talk about the big juicy update to the game's skill tree. We've reworked skill nodes and their cost to offer more ways to optimize your build and get the skills you really want. If you simply want to grab a skill on the way to something juicy, it is now much cheaper. The first unlock is now weaker, but the upgraded ones are in most cases as strong or stronger than before. Oh, and double jump is now in the middle, so you can grab it early. Because of that revamp, we've refunded all of your skill points, so you should make sure you reinvest your points before you get back to adventuring. We have a complete deep dive into a skill tree rework, so go check it out. Up next, from armor, shields, rings, and more, all gear can now be upgraded just like weapons, allowing you to enhance
Base 44 super agents, the next thing you can't live without. No setup, just say hello. Every tool you already use, plugged in a click. Analyzing the competition and delivering a brief before you finished your morning coffee. All while clearing up your email, scheduling meetings, and reminding you of the important stuff. Time to update what you think is possible. Base 44 super agents.
The music led me right to you. A melody that won't leave.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I have an amazing show for everybody today. What do we have, Crystal?
Indeed, we do. As we begin this morning, major questions about whether or not peace talks in Islamabad are on or off. Jeremy Scala is going to join us to try to parse through the latest of what we know and what his latest reporting is. So very fortunate to be joined by him. We're going to take a look at the economic fallout. Trump saying directly that his energy secretary is wrong about when gas prices will be coming back down. The UAE is asking the U.S. for a potential bailout. We'll get the response there, as well as other Gulf Arab state fallout that we're already seeing. Trump is having to go out and promise he is not controlled by Israel. This comes in the wake of a very interesting Fox News appearance from Ro Khanna, where he is fighting with Maria Bartiromo. So we will bring you that. We've got a round of discussions on anti-Semitism, including a college student who is being prosecuted for a joke about Netanyahu. And Palantir is out with a new, very dystopian manifesto that we are going to dig into as well.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's been out for a while, but took the internet by storm, so I'll be excited to talk about that. Thank you to everyone subscribing, BreakingPoints.com. Become a premium subscriber. We're doing our AMA later today, where we'll enlighten anyone. I missed yesterday, unfortunately, due to some car trouble out of state, but perhaps you will find out how I feel about marijuana during the AMA. You can pay for that privilege.
Well played, sir.
I will exclusively reveal how I feel about weed.
We're all waiting with bated breath.
Yeah. BreakingPoints.com. Otherwise, please hit subscribe, share an episode with a friend. Really helps other people find the show. But let's go ahead and start with all of these crazy updates, even just this morning, breaking with this Iran ceasefire negotiation.
Yeah, so just to bring everybody up to speed as best I can, the negotiations have been on and off. We're getting reports from mainstream outlets, mostly with Pakistani sourcing, that the Iranians are planning to attend negotiations in Islamabad. Yet we're getting a lot of tough signaling from the Iranians, this in the wake of that ship seizure, which was a real escalatory move, and a lot of triumphalist talk from Trump that seems intended to humiliate them. Now this morning, we've got a couple more things for you. Let's put this first part up on the screen here. We've got an announcement from the Department of War that U.S. forces just conducted a right of visit, maritime interdiction, and boarding of the stateless sanctioned MT Tifani without incident in the Indo-PACOM area of responsibility. As we've made clear, will pursue global maritime enforcement efforts to disrupt illicit networks and interdict sanctioned vessels, providing material support to Iran anywhere that they operate. International waters are not a refuge for sanctioned vessels. The Department of War will continue to deny illicit actors and their vessels of freedom of maneuver in the maritime domain. This consistent with the threat that the U.S. would expand the blockade basically globally to go after any ships that were planning, that had any association with Iran. So again, in terms of whether or not these talks are even going to happen, this would be another bitter pill that Iran would have to swallow and really sort of a concession that they would have to make in order to go to the table, because the understanding that they had Friday was, okay, we're going to say that the Strait of Hormuz is open. You are also going to remove your blockade. But Trump insisted, no, we're going to keep our blockade in place indefinitely until some sort of deal is struck. We had the seizure of the ship yesterday. Today we have this news, so not a good sign.
No, absolutely. And actually, the seizure of these ships is much more about Iran's war effort than it actually is in terms of oil. So again, there is a lot of news that's been coming out about this blockade, a lot of fake news actually from the American and the Iranian side, claiming multiple violations and people to go through. So Lloyd's actually crunched some of the data. About 27 different ships were actually able to get through. Some of them were oil related. Now, this is where you need to pay quite a bit of attention, is that this was, quote, without incident in the Indo-PACOM Indo-PACOM area of responsibility. So we don't know exactly where and what. We can take a couple of different. Those were either en route from China and are suspected to have some sort of either military technology or assistance, and or there's a specific chemical I was reading about which is very helpful to the Iranian missile program. And so actually, what this blockade has been about now so far in terms of the actual enforcement actions has been on trying to quell any of the military technology or military infrastructure needed to rearm for the war, not necessarily just for oil, which I think, again, you would only really do if this wasn't about economic pressure, but if you intended to.
The way is clear.
30 seconds until this place goes ham.
Certainly. Correct. One world is much like another. The peace is broken. Indeed. I charge ahead. Upon this plane.
Welcome back to FanDuel Casino's Thrill Talk. Let's see who's getting rewarded on Rewards Club.
I got
Everyone, check
commercials.
your
I'm sorry.
rewards out.
I've got a
Break
reward
you
card.
down.
You get a reward. You get a reward. You get a birthday bonus. Get a reward. Everybody gets a reward. FanDuel Casino Rewards Club. Rewards for all, starting day one. 21 plus and participation bonus issued is non-withdrawable.
First blood.
See terms at FanDuel.com/casino.
Kill secure.
Just because you listen to Sad Boy Coffee Shop, this app thinks it knows you. But there's more to you than a playlist. And when it comes to applying for a new credit card, there's more to you than your credit score. Thankfully, Credit Karma goes deeper into your full credit profile by analyzing hundreds of data points and real factors credit card companies use, so you can see your approval odds before you apply. Download Intuit Credit Karma to get started. Approval odds are not a guarantee of approval. Credit Karma looks at how your credit profile compares whether members will approve the hardship or to meet certain criteria determined by the lender.
That's crazy, dude. Oh, yeah.
Giant Courier, bit the big one. There is a job opening in case anyone's interested for Courier. Oh yeah, your bottom tower's under attack.
That's crazy. Could he go around that? Was he able to go around that? When I click right there, it doesn't. So you can't. So how did he do it? I don't understand how he did that. Did he just get on the other side of that train? I just lose sight instantly. How is this Weaver not able to catch him though?
so doctors see more patients, and more people can get care when they need it, and live in healthier communities.
Make the green grass grow all around, make the green grass grow all around.
Make momentum happen. Learn more at jpmorganchase.com/.
Your bottom tower's under attack! Oh, yeah, your bottom tower's under attack. Oh, your bottom tower's under attack!
There has been so far a 2-week ceasefire between Iran and the United States. The ceasefire is supposed to end tomorrow. And right now, the Americans have gone to Islamabad to negotiate a possible peace treaty. The Iranians may go, they may not go, we don't know yet. It is entirely possible that the Iranians will go to Islamabad, and it's entirely possible that they will negotiate a ceasefire, a peace treaty that ends the war. But unfortunately, this war will not end. So a lot of people believe that this war, it is just because Donald Trump has decided to go to war with Iran for whatever reason. But that's not true. This war in Iran is actually part of a larger strategic vision that the United States has to maintain its empire. And today I want to explain why that is the case and how this war will progress. But first, I want to look at some recent events from these past 2 weeks. One of the big news these past 2 weeks is that there are a lot of oil refineries that are afire. Okay, they've been alight. So even as the world is being cut off from 20% of energy from the Middle East, there are lots of oil refineries that are being destroyed. Okay, so this is from Russia, and this is actually Russia's largest oil refinery. As you can see, it is pretty extensive. Okay, but this is not Russia. It is actually a lot of places. So this is Myanmar, and these are 10 oil tankers. So there are a lot of oil refineries that are being destroyed right now. We don't know why this is happening, but there's a lot. Okay, there's already been over 50 oil refineries that have been on fire these past 45 days. Another thing that's been happening is that even though there's a ceasefire in effect, the Americans have imposed a blockade on Iran. And the Americans have escalated the situation by boarding and basically taking over an Iranian ship returning from China, okay? So let's just look at some of the footage. So what happened was that the Iranian ship was returning from China, and the Americans suspected that the ship had important fuel and components for ballistic missiles. The Americans tried to board the ship. The ship would not stop. The Americans fired at the engine, and then they boarded the ship with special forces. Okay? And this is what would be considered an act of piracy. And before the Secretary of War, Peter Hegseth, he before complained that you have to let ships freely navigate in the seas. But he's also said that it's probably okay for the Americans to steal ships.
To be clear, threatening to shoot missiles and drones at ships, commercial ships that are lawfully transiting international waters, that is not control. That's piracy. That's terrorism. Certainly Venezuela.
Okay, so you understand. So the fact that Iran has closed off the Strait of Hormuz and threatened to attack ships with drones and ballistic missiles, that is wrong. That is piracy. Unless the Americans do this, okay? Unless the Americans do this.
Oil is taking notice of that, and it continues because two oil tankers, overnight, were seized by the United States of America, stateless or sanctioned, because the oil blockade, the quarantine of oil out of unsanctioned or stateless, sanctioned or stateless vessels continues. That leverage will continue as Secretary Rubio outlined. So, as you've seen today.
Okay, so does that make sense? It is wrong for the world to be pirates and to seize ships. But it's okay for the United States to do this because the United States is the one that sets the rules for the world. Correct. Duh.
At least he knows.
Okay. So this war is not going well for the United States. This is Rick Scott, and he's a senator from Florida. And he explains that it doesn't really matter if the war is not going well for the United States, because what's happening is that we're hurting China, and that's what's important.
Okay. How do you feel like the war in Iran, which is sort of in a ceasefire right now, how do you feel like this is going? Should the U.S. wrap this up, get out of there now, or do you think there's more to do there?
I appreciate that Trump's trying to get rid of the nuclear weapons. I don't want to die by a nuclear weapon from Iran. They wanted to kill us. I mean, this appeasement of bullies, I don't know if in your life if that's worked for you guys, it's never worked for me. And so they wanted to kill us. So they're getting close to being in a position to kill us. And they basically have been killing Americans. So I think what Trump did is
next time I kill him.
Embodiment of his White Castle craving. Got a heat wave coming in thanks to the
Your middle tower's under attack.
Sliders topped with peppers, onions, and green chili aioli. And look out for new jalapeno craviola with a spicy I say they bring the perfect amount of heat. I'd also say that.
The new chicken sliders and jalapeno craviola are here for a limited time at participating castles. While supplies last.
I love their scent.
It's the right thing. Now, I think he has to get them in a position that they don't have the ability to do nuclear weapons or ballistic missiles. I think that's where we have to go. I don't know what the right approach is going to be. I think blocking the Strait of Hormuz is fine from my standpoint. If no oil ever goes to China again and their economy is destroyed, that would be a really wonderful day for me.
Okay, you guys understand? The Americans may lose this war, but if the end result is that China no longer gets any oil from the Middle East and the economy is destroyed, it's worth it. All right? Okay, even now, even at this late stage, we're about 50 days into this war, the Americans have yet to explain why this war started in the first place. So this is Carrie Leavitt, and she was asked by a reporter again why this war started. And this is her response.
He said yesterday for the first time that he had to strike Iran because he believes that Iran was going to strike U.S. targets within 7 days. And then he bumped that down later to 3 days. Where is he getting that?
Well, that's not the first time the president has said that he chose to launch Operation Epic Fury because he felt as though Iran was going to strike the United States and our assets in the region first. Again, I addressed this in the last briefing. This was a feeling the president had based on facts provided to him.
So it was a feeling based on facts, okay? That's why Trump started this war. Trump himself has given conflicting signals. He said that this war is going to end soon. He's also said that this war is going to continue. All right, so he changes every day.
News 20 minutes ago, but it seems to be going very well in the Middle East with Iran. We'll know over a little period of time. We're negotiating over the weekend. And as you know, we have the blockade. The blockade's been very successful. And of equal success has been the 5 weeks before the blockade. The combination was pretty lethal, I would say. So we're going to be knowing very shortly.
So he's saying this war is going great. We should have a ceasefire soon, okay? And then maybe an hour later he's like, oh, I think I need to drop bombs on Iran. So there's a lot of conflicting signals coming from Trump. And what I want to show you today, what I want to argue to you today is that you have to ignore these signals and focus on the larger American strategy in this war. And once we understand the strategy, then it's very easy for us to understand how this war will progress over the next few years. Okay? Because this war is not going to end soon. It won't be a few months, it'll probably be a few years. And quite honestly, it may take 10 or 20 years. Okay, so let's look over some more news. So as I mentioned previously, oil refineries are getting sabotaged, either by accident or purposefully. What this tells us is that in the past 45 days, there have been at least 45 recorded incidents around the world of oil refineries being set on fire. Okay, so Iran was bombed by the Israelis, and then the Israelis responded by attacking Qatar. Russia is being attacked by Ukraine, and the big one is that in Australia, in Geelong, one of the refineries was set on fire, and they claim it was an accident. This is important because Australia is not at war, but Australia needs a lot of oil. Okay, so right now Australia is in a lot of trouble. Romania, Bucharest has been hit. India has been hit. Myanmar has been hit. Okay, so all around the world, there are these fires going on, destroying the world's oil supply. So why is this happening? And who's doing this? We don't know. And quite honestly, we may never know. But to figure out the answer, you always ask yourself, who benefits, right? And you always look at three things: means, motive, and opportunity. And so from this, you could figure out that the majority of these fires are being deliberately set in order to reduce the world's oil supply. And the people who can do this, the people who benefit from doing this, are the Russians or the Americans, okay? One of these two. It's probably both, but we don't know for sure yet. All right. This war, as we discussed previously, is already having a tremendous impact on the world economy. So sulfur has risen in price by 57%. Sulfur is important for the manufacture of both fertilizers as well as for microchips. Okay? Jet fuel has gone by 52%. So next time you're flying to the United States, it's going to be a much more expensive ticket. Urea is important for fertilizer, diesel, gasoline, fertilizer. So basically, food and energy, their prices have gone way up. Okay? Donald Trump makes a statement saying that the Iranian flag cargo ship Tosca has been boarded by the Americans. Okay? And Donald Trump continues to threaten the Iranians and say that if you continue to close off the Strait of Hormuz, then we will negotiate with bombs, basically. All right? No more Mr. Nice Guy. And quite honestly, what he's also saying is, we don't really care because we don't need that oil from the Middle East. Also, we can sell our oil to the world, okay? The United States loses nothing. In fact, many ships are headed right now to the US, Texas, Louisiana, Alaska to load up compliments of the IRGC. We just want to be the tough guy. All right, so we're the ones benefiting from this war. So we have nothing to worry about. All right, so another thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is how America is moving towards a war economy. All right, so the Pentagon has been in talks with General Motors and Ford to make munitions, drones, and military equipment. All right, so this last happened in World War II when America moved to total war. Their factories that used to make cars were now making tanks. But not only that, but Trump also announced something called the Defense Production Act as of today. And what this does is it basically allows the government to subsidize private corporations in the manufacture of weapons. Okay? So these companies, General Motors, Ford, they can make a lot of money because of this war. That's something to keep in mind. Starting December, Americans who are aged 18 to 26 will be automatically registered for the draft. Okay? So it's very likely that America will soon introduce a national draft and force young men to go fight in the Middle East. Currently, the Pentagon budget is $1 trillion. Next year, it'll be $1.5 trillion, an increase of 50%. Okay? And we can expect that the year after, it might be $2 trillion. More veterans are now being asked to serve longer. Okay? So what we're seeing is that the United States is moving towards a wartime economy. Okay? They're preparing for what we call total war, when an economy moves towards the manufacture of weapons and munitions. All right, another thing that's been happening that you should pay attention to is the fact that there's very little opposition. In fact, there's no opposition to Donald Trump fighting this war in Iran. You would think that the Democrats, his opponents, would use this opportunity to promote anti-war messages or try to stop him from plunging America into another further war in the Middle East. Instead, the Democrats are doing as much as possible not to do anything. So recently in Congress, they had a vote as to whether or not to restrict Trump's ability to fight this war, okay? And there were 4 Republicans who did not vote, and 1 Republican who voted, we should restrict Trump, okay? And so this vote should have been 214 to 213 in favor of yes, we will restrict Trump's war powers. But then what happened was that one Democrat decides, I'm going to switch my vote to no. So now becomes 214 to 213. If you understand. Guys, this is all political theater. You understand? It's all theater, meaning that it was already prearranged between the Republicans and Democrats that this resolution would fail. In other words, it may be 2 Republicans voted yes, then 2 Democrats would have voted no. If 10 Republicans voted yes, then 10 Democrats would have voted no. You understand? The Democrats are not opposing this war. They're doing as much as possible to support this war. So the question then is, why is this happening? Why is America moving towards a wartime economy? Why are the Democrats so supportive of this war? And the answer has to do with empire, okay? So this is something called the National Defense Strategy that came out in January 2026. And this is the blueprint for how the Pentagon will fight wars for the next 5 to 10 years. This is a strategy behind the Iran war. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to read certain parts together to analyze how the Americans will strategize about the world moving forward. Okay, so Ivory, could you help me read, please? Thank you.
For too long, the U.S. government neglected, even rejected, putting Americans and their concrete interests first. Previous administrations squandered our military advantages and the lives, goodwill, and resources of our people in grandiose nation-building projects and self-congratulatory pledges to uphold cloud castle abstractions like the rule-based international order. These past leaders neglected and often actively undermined our warfighters' warrior ethos and our military's core, irreplaceable role: fighting, winning, and thereby deterring the wars that really matter to our people. Consequently, President Trump entered office with the nation on the precipice of disastrous wars for which we were unprepared.
Okay, so certain things to keep in mind, okay? Concrete interests first means that we have to think about resources. We have to think about concrete advantages to America. We can no longer think about ideals, okay? Second is the idea of rules-based international order, or the globalists. Before America was fighting wars for their nations, or for Europe, or for Japan, we had to fight wars for America, okay? And the last thing is the idea of undermine our warriors' ethos, okay? Undermine our warrior ethos. What this means is that before, America was founded by too many rules, okay? What we call rules of engagement, okay? Or basically, avoiding war crimes. You were not allowed to kill civilians. You needed permission from the United Nations to fight wars. And what this is saying is like, screw that, okay? Screw rules of engagement. We should just fight wars to win wars. That means we kill as many people as we need. That means we do whatever is necessary in order to win wars, okay? So this is what the first paragraph is saying here. It's a new vision of American power. Before, it was about ideals. Now it's about interests. Before, it was about globalism. Now it's about America first. Before, it was about rules of engagement. Now it's about the warrior ethos, okay? Please continue reading, Ivory.
President Trump has decisively changed that, courageously putting Americans first to truly make America great once again. Under his leadership, the United States has the world's strongest, most lethal, and most capable military. Indeed, the most powerful military that this world has ever seen. No longer will the department be distracted by interventionism, endless wars, regime changes, and nation building. Instead, we will put our people's practical, concrete interests first. We will support a policy of actual peace through strength. We will be the sword and shield to deter war with the goal of peace. We're ready to fight and win the nation's necessary wars if called upon. This is
stop. Okay, right. So the important sentence here is, we will support a policy of actual peace through strength. What this means is that we will be so mighty, we will be so invincible, we will be so fearless that we will instill fear in others. They'll be so afraid to fight us, and therefore we'll have peace, okay? So it's the idea of hegemony. Peace through might, peace through power. We have to demonstrate we are invincible. When people fear us, that's when people will obey us. When people obey us, that's when we have peace, okay?
This does not mean isolationism. To the contrary, it means a focused and genuinely strategic approach to the threats our nation faces and how to best manage them. This approach is based on a flexible, practical realism that looks at the world in a clear-eyed way, which is essential for serving Americans' interests. As the national security strategy articulates, this is the common-sense approach President Trump has advanced.
Okay, all right. So this does not mean isolationism. It's about how to best manage them. So the idea here is that America before was engaging too many wars overseas. It was too spread out. America will now be focused on maintaining and protecting its core strategic interests. That means divide and conquer, okay? Divide and conquer, divide and rule. Okay, I'll explain this as we go on. All right, so these are the 4 strategic interests of the United States, okay? Can you read, Ivory?
We will defend the homeland and ensure that our interests in the Western Hemisphere are protected. We will deter China in the Indo-Pacific through strength, not confrontation. We will increase burden sharing with allies and partners around the world. And we will rebuild the U.S. defense industrial base as part of the President's once-in-a-century revival of American industry.
Okay, so this is it, okay? This is the plan moving forward. And already we're seeing the Americans are doing this. All right, so rebuild the U.S. defense industrial base, okay, basically means factories and resources, right? Making sure that America becomes the arsenal of democracy. Its factories produce all the weapons America needs in order to protect its interests as well as protect its allies. We will increase burden sharing with allies and partners around the world, okay? This basically means that from now on, we're not friends. From now on, we're the boss and you do what we tell you to do, okay? From now on, we will order Japan, South Korea, Europe, NATO to do what they must in order to protect our power, and they must follow us. Basically, create a system of vassalage. That's number 2. Number 3 is we will deter China in the Indo-Pacific through strength, not confrontation. We don't want to destroy China. We don't want to hurt China, but we need China to obey us. And the way to do that is by containing China, strangling China economically, and also promoting Japan, okay? So in the future, China and Japan will balance each other out. And that allows us to rule over them, right? In the future, we, America, will sell resources, weapons, and financing to both China and Japan as they compete against each other in East Asia. That's how we will contain China. And then the idea of we'll defend the homeland and ensure that our interests in the Western Hemisphere are protected, okay? So basically, this means that the Western Hemisphere belongs to America. We'll do whatever we want in the Western Hemisphere. If you want to come to the Western Hemisphere, you need our permission. If you, China or Russia, you want to come into the Western Hemisphere, you have to get our permission. You have to pay a tax to us, okay? This is really, really important. Defend the homeland. Defend the homeland just basically means a police state. Before, America was too free, and therefore America was too weak. The example is the Vietnam War. When the war was not lost in Vietnam, the war was lost at home. Because you had too many people, too many young men protesting on the streets, too many rebels. If we want to win wars, if we want to project strength, if we want to create peace in the world, we need to make sure that our home front is secure. All right? And that means making sure that Americans follow the law, do what they're told. Okay? So I'll explain this more as we go along. All right, so now let's move on to China, okay? So can you read, Ivory?
Deter China in the Indo-Pacific through strength, not confrontation. President Trump seeks a stable peace, fair trade, and respectable relations with China, and he has shown that he is willing to engage President Xi Jinping directly to achieve those goals. But President Trump has also shown how important it is to negotiate from a position of strength, and he has tasked DOW accordingly. Consistent with the President's approach, DOW will therefore seek and open a wider range of military-to-military communications with the People's Liberation Army, with a focus on supporting strategic stability with Beijing as well as deconfliction and de-escalation, more generally. But we will also be clear-eyed and realistic about the speed, scale, and quality of China's historic military buildup. Our goal in doing so is not to dominate China, nor is it to strangle or humiliate them. Rather, our goal is simple: to prevent anyone, including China, from being able to dominate us or our allies. In essence, to set the military condition required to achieve the NSS goal of a balance of power in the Indo-Pacific that allows all of us to enjoy decent peace. To that end, as the NSS directs, we will erect a strong denial defense along the first island chain. We will also urge and enable key regional allies and partners to do more for our collective defense. In doing so, we will reinforce deterrence by denial so that all nations recognize their interests are best served through peace and restraint.
Okay, so again, this is a very clear plan, okay? What this is saying is this: we're going to negotiate with China, we're going to be friends, we have to do so from a position of strength. And so, what does that mean? First of it means that we will embargo China, okay? How can we embargo China? Through the first island chain, right? The first island chain is Japan, Taiwan, the Philippines, right? So if you embargo China, it means China cannot access the Strait of Malacca, which provides China with 80% of its energy needs, right? And so if you embargo China, China has no choice but to obey you. You're negotiating from a position of strength. The other thing is that we're going to enable key regional allies, and this of course will be Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, right? And this creates the Strait of Malacca. We will have these nations challenge Chinese supremacy in order to create balance, a power balance in East Asia. And once this power balance is created, they all depend on us, the United States, because we have energy, we have food, we have weapons, we have financing. Okay? So again, if you just read this, it's very, very clear what the United States wants to do, and they're already doing it. All right, so this is the conclusion, okay? Ivory, can you read, please?
Taking our nation from the precipice of a world war just a year ago, President Trump is now leading our nation into a new golden age, one defined by putting Americans first in a common sense, pragmatic, and concrete way. No longer will we squander Americans' will, resources, and even lives in foolish and grandiose adventures abroad. But we will not retreat. Rather, we will unabashedly prioritize Americans' concrete interests with an approach of flexible realism. We will restore the warrior ethos. We will refocus the American military on its core, irreplaceable goal of winning the nation's wars decisively. In doing so, as President Trump has so memorably emphasized, our purpose will not be aggression or perpetual war. Rather, our goal is peace. Peace is the highest good, but not a peace that sacrifices our people's security, freedoms, and prosperity. Rather, a peace that Americans deserve, a noble and proud peace. Fortunately, this peace is compatible with the interests of our potential opponents, if they keep their demands reasonable and cabined. We do not demand their humiliation or submission. Rather, we demand only that they respect our reasonably conceived interests and those of our allies and partners who stand stoutly with us. If we all can acknowledge this, we can achieve a flexible and sustainable balance of power among us and peace. But we at the Department of War will be ready if our gracious offer is spurned. We know that wishing for a decent peace is not the same thing as bringing it about. Thus, if our potential opponents are unwise enough to reject our peaceful overtures and choose conflict instead, America's armed force will stand ready to fight and win the nation's wars in ways that make sense for Americans. To ensure that this is the case, the strategy will ensure that we see things and the choices we need to make clearly. We will prioritize addressing the most consequential and grave threats to Americans' interests. We will revamp our network of allies and partners to meet the threats we face. And we will be ready, always carrying the sharpest and most formidable sword, but prepared to offer the olive branch.
Okay, so this is very clear, okay? What he's saying is this: obey us and there will be peace. Defy us and there will be war. Okay, the key idea is we will prioritize addressing the most consequential and grave threats to Americans' interests. Okay, sorry, can you give that? Yeah. Okay, so I want to show you what this means. Basically, it means that from now on, America will adopt a new strategy, okay? All right, so if this ceasefire does not work and war continues, then we can expect in round 2, the fighting will get much worse. Okay, so the Americans will start to target civilian infrastructure, including bridges, universities, reservoirs, power plants, desalination plants. Basically, it will destroy Iran's capacity to be a nation state. In response, the Iranians can destroy a lot more energy infrastructure, okay? So what it's done now, it's basically close off the Strait of Hormuz, but it can also close off the Red Sea, okay? And they can also target pipelines of natural gas. Basically, it can take offline 1/3 of the world's energy supply, and this would, of course, cause an economic depression, okay? Unfortunately, the national security strategy of the United States doesn't really care. If you just read the national security strategy, they already have factored this in and they don't really care. So the idea is to prioritize strategic interests. And what this basically means is that America has the world's greatest navy. No one else comes close. And so all that they do is contain the world's choke points. And the world must bend to the will of America. Okay, does that make sense? If you want to trade, then you must depend on American generosity. Okay? So already what's happening is that this area, it's being closed off. But America has made moves to close off other areas as well. So America is exerting more control over the Panama Canal, okay? Basically, the Western Hemisphere is under something called the Donroe Doctrine. The Donroe Doctrine basically states that America can do whatever it wants in the Western Hemisphere. If you want to come here and trade, you have to go through us. China depends on a lot of resources from the Western Hemisphere, especially from South America. All right? Over here, something called the Lithium Triangle. This is Venezuela. Brazil provides China with a lot of agricultural products, soybeans, basically. And what Trump is saying is that, hey, in the future, you're going to trade over here, China, you have to go through us, okay? So he's basically embargoing the Western Hemisphere from China. Over here is something called the Strait of Malacca. This is the most important choke point in the world, especially for East Asia, because as you can see, the Middle East, if it is to access South Korea, China, and Japan, it has to go through the Strait of Malacca. But guess what, guys? Everything goes through the Strait of Malacca. And this is important because the United States has signed a deal with Indonesia. So what we can expect is that America and Indonesia, their militaries will start to cooperate more and more. This is and the reason why is America is moving towards creating the first island chain. Basically, militarizing the first island chain in order to deter China, to embargo China, basically. What we're also seeing is that Japan is now rapidly remilitarizing. They're signing more agreements with Australia and other nations, okay? They're building more weapons. This is all being encouraged by the United States as a deterrent to China. Again, this is really important. America does not want to destroy China. It does not want to humiliate China. It wants to control China. Because the Chinese economy is still very strong and powerful, and America wants to make sure that the Chinese are buying more US dollars. Okay? So it is entirely possible what's going to happen is that the Chinese will have no choice but to buy from America, okay? Especially energy. The entire Western Hemisphere belongs to America, and you want to trade with the Western Hemisphere, then you need to sign a trade deal with America. Okay? What America is also doing that's really important is that it's planning to take over Greenland. Okay? By taking over Greenland, you're blocking access. China and Russia cannot access the Western Hemisphere through the Arctic. You're also seizing control over the Arctic. Okay? And there are lots of mineral and oil in the Arctic as well. Okay? The Strait of Gibraltar is also another strategic choke point, and America has signed a deal with Morocco to enhance more cooperation. Okay? So you can see what America is doing is, when they mean strategic interest, targeting strategic interest, what they mean is exerting control over the world's choke points so that they can control global trade. Okay? They're not going to control the entire ocean because it's much too big, but if they control certain choke points, like the Middle East, and the Strait of Malacca, that's probably enough. Okay? The point is to get China to submit. The point is to control China, not to destroy China. All right, this is important because if you want to become a major power in the world, you need to trade effectively. So Russia has something called the North-South corridor. As you can see, it runs through Iran, okay? Iran is very important for the Russian North-South corridor. And that's why
新潮玩法，现实生活释放技能。游戏不仅锻炼身体，还成为社交新方式，吸引大量年轻人参与。组织者提供游戏装备，游戏奖品，真人自由比赛。
I have with me a guest today that I can't even believe he's here. I've watched him for a long time on TV, and you never think for 1 minute he would end up on your stage. Tommy Chong. And Tommy is a Grammy-nominated musician, actor, and comedian, best known for his part in the Cheech and Chong. Welcome, man.
Thank you.
I can't believe you're here.
I can't believe it either.
I see you got on TV so much. It was so funny, and
yeah.
And I didn't grow up thinking one day I'm going to interview them. I'm glad you're here.
There's a lot of surprises in this world, isn't there?
It is. There are many. But let me ask. So, when you and Cheech were doing the pot show, were you really high?
What are we here for again?
Trying to help
these guys win a game. Win the game? Right, yeah, okay.
Of course. I will. Yes. Yes. All paths.
Oi, oi, oi. Jalepa.
The way is clear.
Target practice paying off.
Of course. Yes. The peace is broken. Between the plains.
As for all, dog. As for you, fucking hit him. I was gonna do it. Watch, we're still gonna get him.
I charge ahead.
Should I body block him? Body block ours?
As
Come on, proc. Early procs. I need early procs. Denied. He's denied. Oh.
Can you smell that salty blood that just got burst, spilled?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Got away, I knew it. Easy. I knew I was gonna get away. I wasn't afraid. Not one part of me was like, maybe it's just gonna go bad. I didn't even think that. I don't even think like that. Oh, that was bad.
Between the planes.
Morty, middle
Dude,
tower.
go.
You might want to look at it.
Middle tower's under attack.
He stopped chasing me.
All paths lead to conflict.
Bitch ass. You seen that? You seen that? Bitch ass motherfucker. Calculate it. Why'd I do that? Why I keep doing that? This bitch ass motherfucker, dog.
One world is much like another. The beast of all worlds.
It was lag. You seen it? You see lag? Get lag spikes. Come on, dude. Oh shit.
There is nothing that can stop this man.
Bah!
Oh jeez, your middle tower's under attack.
I run rampant.
They're big noobs. Oh.
Onward.
Me? Not big noob. Them? Big noob.
Upon this plane.
What's the big noob ratio? Ba 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 ba. Come. Come, die. Proc. Big proc. Big proc. Big proc. Come on. He has no hook. I know be mad, he has no hook. I just took like 3, dude. Dead ass. I'm gonna hit to heat another up. Throw him on the cooker.
Morty, you're not gonna like this.
So you get the scraps out.
Oh, sheesh.
Let me say, I throw this one back on because this one might work again. Alright, it's 6:25. When it's like 8 minutes, they'll be ready. Almost 7:30. All right, we're gonna check one.
Как же это сочно! Ах!
Nah, one's not. That one's cooked. But this one might be good.
Oh, middle tower's under attack. Oh, man.
This one's cooked. I think I'm done, dude. I don't think there's any more
Your
left.
middle tower's under attack.
I think the blinkers are over. Like I said, I thought I took my last ones a second ago. What was that? Why does he keep doing that?
Morty, middle tower. Might want to look at it. Oh, the middle tower's under attack.
Yes. I charge ahead.
Your middle tower's under attack.
Look there. I'll set
Middle tower's under attack.
There is nothing that can stop this man! There is nothing that can stop this man!
Of course.
Bro, literally does. I was waiting for him to use that. To use my charge. And he will not use it until I use. He's only using it to dodge the charge. That's it. Fuck him. Dodge that. Then I'll use the fucking other one and cracked him.
Break you down.
Piece of shit.
Of course.
Alright, soon. Gonna try another. I think they're all done. To be honest. I don't know.
Oh, come on. The middle tower's under attack. Oh, man, your middle tower
Done.
just got destroyed.
Yeah, I don't think I got none left, dog. I think they're all done. You know? I'm trying.
You gotta get serious.
There is nothing that can stop this man! There is nothing that can stop this man! There is nothing that can stop. There is nothing that can stop this man!
Attack. Defense.
Oh, middle tower's under attack. Oh, jeez, your middle tower's under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Between the planes.
Oh yeah, your bottom tower is under attack. Oh jeez, your bottom tower is as good as done.
I run rampant. The beast of all worlds. Certainly. Upon this plane. All paths lead to conflict.
Ooh, your middle tower is under attack.
I have their scent. I charge ahead.
Nothing beats a Dota 2 holiday. And right now you can get $60 per person.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
My patience is rewarded. Upon this plane. Much like another. As suggested. Between the planes.
Middle tower. You might want to look at it. Middle tower is under attack.
No, don't do it.
Oh jeez, middle tower's under attack. He's now dominating. He's dominating, Chris.
That one hit.
Oh, not so fast, Morty, because we should start calling this person to mega kill now, because they got a triple kill.
Not that. Oh yeah. I got you, dog.
The way is clear.
Oh, your bottom tower's under attack.
Strong as an ox.
I'm still hitting like a motherfucker, nut.
There is nothing that can stop this man.
Double kill. Oh man.
I run rampant. scent.
Oh, middle tower's under attack.
Between the flames. I have their scent. I will.
Radiant just fortified their structure. Hello? Can anyone hear me? It's a killing spree over here. Oh man, this guy's dominating. Wubba lubba dub dub. Your bottom tower's under attack! You know, Morty, it sometimes feels like they don't even care.
This is the one. Right here. Got him. Dude, this piece of shit.
Wait, no, hold on! He's unstoppable!
I got you, dog. Working on another blinker. Working on it. Yeah, I think we gotta pump it up, you know? Sometimes you just gotta pump it up. Whoa. What the fuck is going on? Okay. What the fuck?
I have a plan to...
This is crazy, dude. This axe is crazy. I don't even know what's going on. This shit's wilding out.
Yes.
Too many, dude.
Indeed.
We got one more. Bing.
Yes.
It's just gonna fry my brain. We're ready. Oh, we're out of here. Can't take a. Yeah, I mean, we gotta chill to take a blanket.
As suggested.
Oh, yeah, your bottom tower's under attack. Oh, what a mess.
No. No.
You know, Rick, I gotta tell you, my bottom tower is looking pretty good. 40, bottom tower under attack. Oh! Your bottom tower's under attack.
That could stop this. There is nothing that could stop this. There is nothing that could stop this man.
Piece of shit, dude. Alright, this one, cooked. That's it.
Oh, jeez, Radiant's courier just got
That's it.
killed.
There's
Your
one
bottom
more.
tower's under attack.
This one.
Ooh, oh, not
This
good.
one got liquid, but I can never heat it up enough.
Spree.
Shall be shankers by the acre.
And then the top is metal. You know, I think last time I did, and I don't know. Yeah, we got that shit. Elevate, man.
Oh, she's dominating.
I can't stand it up. Yeah, I can't stand it up. Damn. I can't stand it up. Can't set it up. So I can't try that one. I think I'm already done at this point. Pretty good for the day.
Oh, jeez, Rick, the top tower's getting
Gotta say, I was like, big goes some out. Already eat.
Your top tower's under attack.
The hidden ones have blessed me.
As suggested.
Fortified. Oh, jeez, your top tower's under attack.
Everybody else is a bitch. Real rap. Real rap. Every time I go up there and I get hit, it's because I'm not being a bitch. That's all I got to say. That's it.
Morty, middle tower. Middle tower's under attack. Morty, who was that? I don't know. It was pretty tight.
Rotting tongue.
Is there no, honor anymore amongst gaming people?
Huh? Vessel? I don't even know. I'll get Vessel. Usually, if I'm a melee character, I just use Blade Mail against them. I just hit Blade Mail in time usually.
Your middle tower just bit the big one.
Now it's no make sense. Why you ask questions? Just enjoy the Herald show. And that's it. And then see, he just waits. He's wait. That's all do. It's just wait.
Look there.
That's it.
Upon this plane.
You know, Rick, I gotta tell you, my bottom tower is looking pretty good. 40 bottom tower under attack.
Beast of all worlds.
Yeah, we just need this game to end. I'm ready to play something else. I'm fucking.
Correct. Between the plains. Indeed.
Oh boy, your top tower's under attack.
Nope.
Way is clear.
Oh, Dyer's courier got killed. Are you kidding me? Weak.
Of course. Yes.
High, we just acting like you were high.
Sometimes we were high, usually not.
Right.
Usually just acting.
Right.
Yeah, if you get too high, you can't.
No.
Because being stupid takes timing. You know?
That's right.
If you come in there too soon, oh, let me tell you, we were in New York first time, and we had killed in L.A. But we never worked in New York. Well, New York is like a test. Because they're so far ahead of everybody.
Right.
So you go on stage, and what they do, they test you. They won't laugh at anything to make you uncomfortable, to see how you're going to react.
Yeah, they're rough over there.
And so when they did it, Cheech and I, we were fighting before we got off the stage. And it was all about cocaine. We did a shot of cocaine. It ruined our show. And the good thing about it, we quit. We never did cocaine after that.
Nice.
Nothing.
Right on.
We were funnier without it.
And so you weren't high necessarily when you were acting. Do you smoke pot now?
Yep.
How long have you been smoking pot?
Oh, I'm 86. I started when I was 17.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've been smoking pot since 17?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And why?
Because it's the healthiest thing. It's the healthiest high on the planet.
Oh, it is. So what is it like for you at 80? What, 87?
86.
86. Are you high now?
Probably. You get to an age where you can't tell. I swear to God, I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes and have I got COVID? No. Oh, right. I took a gummy. That's right. Okay. Then go back to sleep.
What the? And so, but pot tends to lower your consciousness, and it makes you think that you're talking to God.
Oh no, that's what you think. Yeah. I mean, that's what other people, when they're looking at you, you know, I bet he's thinking, you know what I mean? They look at you, they don't know. See, you can't get inside people's head, you see.
And so, what would happen if you didn't smoke, you think? If you didn't get high again, what do you think would happen to you?
Well, I went through that when I went to prison.
You went to prison?
Yeah, I was in prison for 9 months.
Really?
And I quit smoking a year before I went, and I stayed clean until a year after I got out. And so it was 3 years.
How was that for you?
I spent a year. Oh, it was great. It was great. But it was also great when I got to smoke the first joint again, man. It was like, whoa, this is so good. But, oh, man. Yeah, but pot's different. As you get older, it's your relationship. It's not as abrupt as it used to be, you know, because, you know, I know the feeling in the body. And a lot of times, especially when you're communicating with God, when you hear God all the time, like I do, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant whether or not I'm high, you know.
Oh.
because his words are so powerful.
Really?
You know.
But, so you're in prison for how, 3 years, you said?
No, I did 9 months.
Oh, 9 months.
But I was on pre-trial probation, and they drug test you all the time.
Oh.
See, I wanted to show the world, and I did, that pot is your choice. And if you don't want to smoke it, don't smoke it. There's no addictive quality. It's only mental quality.
You want to legalize pot, right?
Oh, it's legal, yeah, for sure.
But you want it legal all over the world, all over the country?
Yeah.
Really? And why do you want it to be legal all over the country?
More to stop the DUIs.
Oh.
Yeah, you know.
Do you want other drugs to be legal too, or just pot?
Well, I only know about pot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know about the other drugs.
And you smoke pot every day?
I try to, yeah.
Really? So let me ask, what's the longest have you gone without smoking pot?
Would I say 4 years?
4 years?
Yeah.
And do you love white people?
Depends.
Do you love white people?
It depends on the white people.
Do you love white people?
Yeah, I love everybody.
Do you love white people?
Do I love what?
White people.
White people. Do I love white people? I get a feeling I was asked that before. Yeah, I love everybody.
Do you love white people?
Yeah. Or no. What am I supposed to say?
True or false, abortion is worse than slavery?
Abortion is worse than slavery? False.
Have you ever been high on the hog?
High on the hog? Yeah.
Is the earth flat or round?
It depends on what you smoke. I'll tell you, sometimes it's flat.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So let me just hear this. You had this one wife in Canada.
Yeah.
She was black.
Yeah.
And then you had a girlfriend on the road.
Yeah.
She was white.
Also from Canada.
And then you had a black. Then you.
My first
broke
girl.
up with the first wife.
The first girlfriend.
Oh, you broke up with the first girlfriend.
Well, what happened?
What the?
It was a.
Were you like a slut maker?
I got so much into the black culture that I became black.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, once you go black, you can't go back.
Well, I can't go back. I can go to court, though.
So let me get these wives straight. So you had one wife in Canada at one time.
Yeah.
And on the road, we moved to Detroit, you had a white girlfriend.
Yep.
On the road.
Yep.
And then you broke up with the first black wife in Canada.
Yep.
And then you met another black girl.
No. I missed that one first. Okay, we'll back up a bit. I had my wife, the only woman that.
Between the plains. Yes. I have their scent. All paths lead to Concord. Upon this plain.
Artlist Studio is here, the AI video production platform designed to amplify your team's.
Andrew Wilson appeared on Trigonometry. This got very interesting because it goes exactly how we have seen this go before. They have not taken the time to think these things through in this way. So when Andrew just asked them very bluntly, it leaves them unable to respond.
Like, let's start with this. Do you want women to be able to get drafted in the military?
I personally don't, no.
Why?
Why?
Why not? Even if they're not in combat roles, they could be providing support. There are women in the military. So why don't you want them to be drafted?
Because I've never really thought about it. It's just an instinctive reaction.
I like both these guys I've spoken to. You can see that they have not thought about these things in this way before.
I'd have to think about the exact reason, but I just don't think combat is what men do, I guess. It's a very simplistic way of saying it. And
Sure.
there'll be women who, I can kick your ass, and there are women like that, right?
Great. But not generally.
What I am not against women serving in the military if that's what they choose to do.
Yeah, but what about the draft, though?
But I don't think they should be compelled to, no.
Why not? If you've admitted women can serve in the military, they provide logistics, they can even do combat in some cases. Why should men be compelled, but women not?
I don't think they should be compelled to, no.
But men should?
I think in some circumstances, yes. Like when the survival of the country is at stake.
So women get a privilege men don't get?
Sure. Why? Men get certain privileges.
Notice what you said there. Men get certain privileges too. What is an example of male privilege? When you actually ask the question, no one can answer. You're going to see it play.
I forgot you can't use spirit vessel. It stops your fucking charge. I hate that.
Play out right here.
No? What privileges? Name a single privilege men get that women don't have access to. What?
You mean legislative?
Anything.
And he's opening up the table to absolutely anything.
Like literally
What,
anything.
in life?
Any aspect, whether it be governmental, social, women have all the privilege.
And this bothers people, but when you ask them, okay, but why does this bother you? They can't really tell you. It's just, it doesn't feel right.
All the privilege.
Oh yeah. Hey, when the Titanic goes down, who gets on the lifeboat?
Yeah, but that's a very narrow context. Well, who dies in childbirth, right? Like, I mean, come on, we're different, and
Almost no women die in childbirth anymore.
Well, some just still do.
Sure, but I mean, some people die.
They're just like, I mean, there's probably more women that die in childbirth in America than people who die on the Titanic in the modern.
Yeah, is
right?
childbirth avoidable? You just don't have sex, right?
So he's pointing out a logical difference. The government is not compelling women to have children. They are compelling men to enlist for the draft.
What are any? Can you give me any privilege at all that men have that women don't? Whereas I can give you tons of privileges that women have that men don't. That's what I'm asking.
Privilege. Well, I mean, the privilege concept outside the legislative framework is a difficult one.
Even inside of it, I'm asking for both. Either, any, in fact.
See, notice how difficult this is, yet people talk about male privilege as though it is so prevalent, yet no one can really point to anything.
I don't have the data on all this stuff, but I would assume there are contexts in which men are more likely to be employed for a certain thing because they're more likely to be perceived as authoritative, as leaders, things like that.
That's the best they can come up with. Well, I could imagine this thing happening. There's no way to measure that. And I like Konstantin. It's fascinating to me that once you're in this position, you begin to make a progressive leftist argument. As a teacher, the vast majority of teachers were female. Is there a bias in hiring teachers?
Although that has changed with the kind of woke agenda of the last 10 years.
And it works both ways. Like, for instance, preschool teachers.
Yeah.
I would assume that people would vastly prefer that their kid go to a woman, right?
Right.
So it seems like that privilege is striped across the board. So, like, what is the, why is it that women get all of the equality, right, but also get all the privilege?
I mean, it's difficult to argue with. If you see a flaw, let me know.
That doesn't seem right to me. That seems like it's backward. So, like, I'm still waiting to hear from anybody ever. What are these,
I just want to
privileges men have over women versus what women have over men?
If you've ever been curious about buying and investing in crypto, Bitcoin, stable coins, USAT, or even gold-backed stable coins, but maybe you felt like it was too complicated, Rumble Wallet is an easy way to get started. You can buy, sell, and manage your cryptocurrencies all in one place, and the app is super straightforward. What makes Rumble Wallet really unique is that you can use it to tip your favorite creators and support the Freedom First community that has been built on Rumble. Getting started is simple. Just download the Rumble Wallet app, sign up with your existing Rumble account, no need for a new login. Complete a few security steps and you're set up in a few minutes. You can start with a few dollars, and with MoonPay built into Rumble Wallet, you can easily buy crypto using your credit or debit card.
So if you can go and you can be drafted, you can be sent off to war, right? And women can't, but they can vote to send you off to war. How is that not something which fundamentally needs to be addressed immediately? That seems to me like it's completely lopsided, and it's giving one class of people a significant privilege over another.
So if we allowed women to be drafted, you'd be happy with them having it?
Well, see, now we come into pragmatic problems, though. The reason that you said earlier, I'm against women being drafted, is because they can't really serve in combat roles, only in support roles. Whose draftees of men would have to serve in combat roles. The reason women don't do well in combat roles is because, well, driving tanks is hard work. It takes muscles. And you gotta, you know, run the shells, and you have to carry hundreds of pounds of equipment with you, and you have to do all of this type of thing. And generally speaking, women aren't equipped for it, which is why we've never had a female Navy SEAL to date, even though they've been trying for like 25 years. We just haven't had a single one. They can't do the job.
Now Francis is going to take a stab at him. And I like both these guys. This is nothing personal. This is about being objective and calling balls.
I guess. But when you vote for a government, you don't vote whether to go for war or not. It's the government that makes the decision. There's plenty of people who voted for Donald Trump and are
With Google Play Games, you can play unlocked.
Bro insta leaves. He said, fuck this. That shit, I can't take that shit, dude. Alright, dude. Fuck you. Fuck you guys.